All right, doing this one completely sitting down because that is the point. If you're always standing during your training, you need to stop or at least take a break from always standing during your training. Occasionally, it's good to actually sit down or even lay down on the ground and do your training because it's very easy to fall into the pattern of your dog listening to you and obeying you when you're in a superior position, which means a very authoritative position, which means you're standing above them and looking down at them. Just like when you're ever reprimanding like a child or anything like that, you're in a very authoritative position. Your presence is coming down upon them, which isn't a bad thing at certain times, but occasionally shit happens. And my go-to is always after a long day of work or whatever, and you just want to sit on the couch and decompress for about 5 minutes or so. And that means if your dog wants to come and see you and talk to you, great. But occasionally you just want them to, just lay down or go to bed so you can decompress in peace, which means you're already in, to simplify the word, because I use a superior position before, now you're in an inferior position or in a more vulnerable position, if you will, by laying down and actually being underneath them, especially anytime your back is down and you can't look over them, you're not topping, you're more eye to eye level. That's when will they actually listen, and that's what I wanted to cover in this lesson today. So for this one, I'm just sitting down right here on the platform. You might actually even get down on the ground, but you're going to train your dog just like you would in any other position, which means I got Ace right here in front of me. You see Ava running around like a banshee. So always start with treats. So good news is if you're doing it like this and you're just working on, say, like your recalls or your fronts or anything like that, sitting down and actually having your legs out in front of you will create actually a closer front. So right here, treats in my hand, they sit, boom, yes. You can feed your dog right here, and this is creating that front position. Yes, there you go. So it's kind of twofold. Yeah, so if your dog naturally wants to back away from you when they're doing their fronts, they're not, super close. This is like a sideways way of getting them to actually come closer to you, which is you sitting down, putting your legs down in front, so they actually have to come in between your legs and they're starting that motion of getting closer to you. I actually made a video about closer fronts. I'll go ahead and link it somewhere in here, but that's just one of the things you can do. From right here, you can also just work on your down. So Ace, down. Yes, good boy. And again, you can see just being a while, you can even do your rights. Ava, since you're right here, right? Boom. Yeah. Yes. Ace, you can do your lefts. Yes, good boy. Ava, plots. Yes. And again, just throw in the treats or doing whatever I want. Ace, front. And because it's a new position for them, the one they're not used to, because again, you're more on eye level with them, just start small. Your basic ones that you want your dog to follow you when you're, again, just relaxing. So again, I always say, do the things that you naturally would do with your dog. Don't do things that other people do with their dog, because that's not your lifestyle. Train your dog to the lifestyle that you're accustomed to. So even though, I always say have a strong dog, being a strong dog doesn't mean you got to go riding in helicopters or anything. It means you just need to get them strong and comfortable in the things that you do on a daily basis and things that you want them to do on a daily basis. So this way they're not freaking out. They're very comfortable and they're very confident in what you're doing. Okay. So go ahead and keep doing it. Ace, down. Yes, good boy. Ava, spot. Yes, good girl. Ava, plots. Yes. Good. Ace, spot. Ava, plots. Yes, good boy, good girl. And then this is it. And you can do the same releases. Ava, left, plots. Yes. Ace, sit. Yes, good boy. Just mixing it up. Just depending on where I want to release them is all. Ace, sit. Or not, just lay down. Stand. Yes, good boy. Always a good boy. Ava, come here. Yes, good girl. And this is it. And you can do it with the ball. You can do it with anything you want. But again, if you've never done it at a certain level, always start with food just because it's easier, it's cleaner. Ava, sit. Platz. Stand. Back. Back. Yes. She's got saliva all over them because her and Ace were playing earlier. And this is it. So I would throw this into the mix every couple of sessions. Just, break up the monotony of always standing over them. Because again, you want to get into positions where your dog will listen to you. So, yeah, so if you always just do the same thing over and over, I always say if you just do the same thing over and over, they get bored. You're going to get bored. They're going to get used to it. That's where they start maybe even plateauing a little bit. So breaking it up is like, okay, now what are you doing? Because now you're down here and I'm supposed to listen to you and I can basically do whatever I want because we're equals, so to speak. So now, again, now that you're equals, even though I'm equal, I'm still your parent. I'm still your boss. You still have to listen to me. However you want to put whatever kind of verbiage you want on it, but they still have to listen to you, even in a more vulnerable position, which is like being down here more on their level, in some cases, even under them. Face lay down. Yes, good boy. And if you want, and some people see me in the fucking park where I do this, out in the field, they'll be like, why is this guy laying down and there's a dog running around and then next thing you know, the dog is right next to him. So, Ava, Platz. Yes. There you go. Ava. Sit. Sit. No. Sit. Good girl. Left. Platz. Stand. Sit. Yes, there you go. Mix it up a little bit. Anyways. Oh, he's a good boy. So yeah, so even if you're, again, on the couch or, you want to lay on the floor and you give you your space, the dog wants to go run around and act like a fool and you send him to go to bed, her go to bed, same thing applies. Ava, spot, Platz. And if you watch my video about crate training or even the place one, you would notice you can use them interchangeably because if you trained the crate just like you did the place is very close, is very, very similar. So having them, I keep looking up at the camera because I want to look at it, but even though I got the mic on, you should be able to hear me. So even though you can use those terms interchangeably, because like I said, however you want to word it, whether it's go to bed, go to your crate, go to your place, whatever, how you train it is very, very similar. So they should be able to, yes, good girl, should be able to go and do those things on command. So if you need to, go ahead and put them on a leash, start very close to you before they start running around, or do it in a very controlled setting like in your backyard or in your home before you go out in public and start doing it. If you're doing it in public, please think of your dog's safety first, which would be having them on a line, or if you have an e-collar and they're trained on the e-collar, you can go ahead and do that too, which stay tuned for the next day or two, and I'll be posting the first episode of the e-collar on this channel. So again, get out of the monotony of always standing and being with your dog. Go ahead and mix it up. Go ahead and get on the floor with them. Go ahead and lay down. Just get into different positions so this way they don't always get familiar with the picture of that you're conveying or painting. And when you do that, they'll go ahead and get more comfortable in realizing, okay, I still got to listen to you despite what's going on, despite you looking different than I normally see you saying this command. And when you do that, you have a more confident dog, a more agile dog, a more versatile dog who will be able to do things when you're just able to call upon it and when you need it. So hopefully this helps. If you're not sure how to really introduce this kind of training, or if you just don't know how to structure your training, I'll go ahead and post that video. I think it was one of my very, very first videos. So I don't know how good it is, but I know the content and I know the strategy is just as good. So again, if you're not sure about how to structure your training, I'll go ahead and post that video and you can go ahead and look at that one as well. Okay, good luck. Have fun training your dog. If you haven't already, please subscribe, help a brother out, and I'll talk to you next time. Done. Up, 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 up. Yay, good boy. Ava, Platz. Yes.